Go ahead.
The story about my socks tells the story of my life on Iwo Jima. Uh, when we were getting battle ready, and I was in the bottom of the ship, right on top the keel, the bottom situation there where rations were handled to us, gas mask was handled to us, hand grenades, white phosphorus grenades, just anything and everything. One man had a pickaxe, another man would have a shovel that would be on his back, and with all of the stuff was loaded down in my 21-pound rifle, my BAR. All of that was given to me in the hold of that ship, and all the hatches was locked up because they were getting too close and they were bombarding constantly. And we had the little 3-inch gun, I guess, cannon on that ship because they were firing even from our ship onto the beaches of Iwo Jima. And so when the battle it came time to open up the hatches and we're gonna board the landing craft, I was fully geared up with a gas mask strapped to the side of my leg and all of these other paraphernalias I'm talking about. And I had my toothbrush because I love to brush my teeth. And if nothing else, I get to brush my teeth. And all of this is about my socks because when I got off of that ship, the battle was furious. And it took me quite a while before I could do anything other than try to get the first target that I had to shoot at. I had a misfire, and I got my toothbrush out to brush the volcano ash out of the chamber so that my rifle would function. And the story is that I never did brush my teeth because I never did have any fresh water. They had no fountain there for us to drink from, and all our water came in the containers, that the 5-gallon containers that they'd strap on the side of a truck or a vehicle of some sort, and it had cosmoline to keep from rusting. Well, the fresh water off the ship became terrible, nasty water to drink, but at least it was water. But I never did brush my teeth, but except to brush the chamber of my BAR for those 21 days, those days that I was on Iwo. Well, when I finally got into one of the battles after the flag was raised, we thought that we took the eyes away from the Japs, but they still had their radios and they had their communications, and they could tell where we were at all times. And when we got out in an open area, they'd bombard us something terrible. And then finally, on a ninth day, 4 days after the flag was raised in 5 days, and then on the 4th day, the battles was getting heavier and heavier, and I got wounded. I got shrapnel in my body. And I finally, through other stories, but I finally made it out to the beach area to be evacuated, which I was. But they had shot me up with morphine, and they had bandaged me up. I had my arm in a sling, so I wouldn't be able to move my chest area by my heart. And sure enough, they got me in a duck situation, and they brought me out to a transport. I don't know if it was the one that brought me, but it was a transport ship that was bringing the troops to Iwo. The hospital ship had already been loaded up after 5 days of battle. They couldn't take any more passengers, and they took off for Honolulu. And but this here ship wasn't no hospital ship, and in due time, the next day, it set sail for Itawita to get more medical supplies and some help from personnel off of Iwo to get on that ship and help them with the wounded that was on that ship. And I thought I was in pretty good shape. But here's where the socks came in. They brought me up strapped me into a basket, and they brought the basket up with the boom and set it down on the deck of the ship. And when they unstrapped me, I got up out of the thing by myself, and I was standing up, and the corpsman I don't know if he's a corpsman or a medic, but anyway, he stepped back and looked me over, and he says, "Do you think you could take a shower before we bring you in?" Because that was 9 days I had never had a cup of coffee. I had never drank any decent glass of water. I never had a hot meal, and I welcome anything they would give me. And sure enough, the fella said, "I'll help you get undressed to take your shower." And he says, "I'll remove your leggings." He did. "And I'll remove your shoes." He did. And then he stepped back and took a deep breath, and he says, "I'll remove your socks." And he removed my socks. I was going to be a casualty because toe cheese, fungus was building up in between my toes because I had got my shoes all wet. It rained one time all night long, and I never did. And I had a change of socks and all, but the battles were so severe and all, and I was on so many working parties because my BAR would be positioned where I couldn't even use it. I had to depend upon my ammunition carriers to protect me. And I realized that socks, my socks told the story. The things was just so bad there that I could not even remove my shoes and put on fresh socks. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. There's other stories to be told on me trying to get back after getting wounded. I almost got captured. Snipers were shooting at me. They was trying to finish me off. But I had enough life in me to do an Olympic jump out of a trough that I had jumped into, which was leading another opening going into the mountain. And I almost jumped on this officer that was here all by himself smoking his cigarette. And I startled him so bad, and he startled me. And he turned and ran into